An aerial view of the many buildings making up the skyline of beautiful Houston, Texas. Our broadcast setting tonight. This is 2K Sports broadcasting from Houston, Texas, as the Rockets take it to the hardwood. Joined by Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. And with us tonight, the author of the 700-page book of basketball, a must-read, Bill Simmons.
It's great to be here, and everyone wants me to rewrite that book, but I don't have it in me. So much has changed in basketball over the last 9 years. I got to redo my Hall of Fame pyramid, but I can't sit down and do it, Kevin. I think it's going to last.
How long did it take you to write that book?
It was 3 years of my life, and I was younger. Now it would just be coffee all day, trying to stay awake for it.
But a New York Times bestseller for multiple weeks.
It was number one.
Right,
yeah, it was
absolutely.
Great. And it taught me that I knew people love basketball, and I think we've seen this decade as basketball has just blossomed into something much bigger than I think it's ever been. I can tell with the book, people liked it.
The Houston Rockets coming to this one after a win against Denver, and they put it all together in that game. It added up to a phenomenal win.
I just thought the defense was porous. Got any shot they wanted, really, for most of the evening.
I'll give them credit. Even though they were facing very little resistance, they refused to play down to the level of their competition.
And checking out Utah's opening lineup, Favors and Gobert, the tough pair inside. Mitchell and Ingles are out in the wings. And it's Dinwiddie in at the one spot. Bill, you've done quite a few player interviews over your life, and I'm sure there are some guys that have surprised you with what they've got to say.
Yeah. I think we're in a really cool generation with basketball players where they're these really thoughtful guys who aren't afraid to share stuff. You know, some of the guys try to protect their images and their manufactured reputations, I would say, to some degree, but for the most part, the candidness of some of these guys, you can't hide on a podcast. Mm-hmm. If I have you for an hour, you're not going to be able to dodge stuff. You're going to have to talk.
Well, you challenge people, that's the beauty of the podcast.
Well, and I don't have notes, so I do it. I'm looking at you, you're looking at me, and we're going, and you got to be ready.
That's how Larry King used to do it. Yeah.
So some guys are ready. Like Durant was great. Durant was ready to talk, and we did 5 podcasts, and everything's on the table with him. But my favorites are somebody like Kyrie came in, really smart, kind of sort of ready to go, but not totally, but then got into it. And those are usually the best ones.
Bill, we know about the love affair you have with the NBA, and you've written about it for so long. Started with the $4 ticket in Boston with your dad.
Yeah, my dad bought season tickets for the 1973-74 Boston Celtics, and it was only one ticket. And I think it was $4 a game, probably like $160 total. And he used to carry me in mainly because they didn't want to pay for a babysitter. So I started going to games that year, probably sleeping through a lot of them, and they won the title.
How old were you in 72?
So I was 4.
4 years old.
I'm not going to lie, I don't remember anything from that season. The first season I remember is the year later when they lost before the finals to Washington. And then the year later they won the famous finals against Phoenix, the triple overtime game. I was there.
Was Cowens on the team?
Cowens, Havlicek,
Yep.
JoJo White.
Yep.
And I was at the triple overtime game in the 76 finals. Was probably the most famous NBA game ever. The kids out there now would nominate like Game 7, 2016 or something. But triple overtime game was the most famous game ever. And I slept through the entire second half and the first overtime. But then woke up because everybody was standing in the second overtime, so I had to go.
Bill, one shot to win a game. You can pick any player. Who's going to take that shot for you?
Kevin Durant. I think he has the most ways to get a good shot off. I always look at it as, is it a quality shot to get off? So he can post the smaller guy up. He can shoot a 3. He's got the pull-up pissy jumper, as he calls it. He can go in the lane and pump fake and do a little drop step. And I just think he has the most moves. Some people would say LeBron, but am I getting regular season LeBron or playoff LeBron?
Playoff LeBron.
Playoff LeBron would be my number one choice.
He'd be pretty good.
Yeah, he'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
Regular season LeBron, I'm not as enthused about.
Pass to Williams. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That's on Dante Exum.
Oh, the officials are all over that one.
Talking about last-second shot instincts, Bill, you mentioned LeBron, KD. What about Curry? Where does Curry rank in that conversation?
Curry's good.
Top five?
You can guard Curry in those one-on-one situations with the right people. I'm not saying you're to stop him, but, you put a taller guy on him. And Curry, to me, Curry is the greatest not in the offense score I've ever seen in my life, where he can get 32 and hit 10 threes and wasn't really involved in the game. Just, you forget about it for one play, and all of a sudden he's in the corner and they're setting him up, or he's running off the screen. It's a lot, almost like what Reggie Miller and Ray Allen were able to do, where, you run him off screens and you tire the guys out and you kind of hope the defense forgets they're out there. But he's not a conventional get-out-of-my-way guys. I'm going to get to the rim.
Absolutely.
Score like someone like Donovan Mitchell is.
Shot by Crowder, no good.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
Here's Tucker. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
Defensively, you cause the miss, but then you have to corral it.
There's nothing more frustrating than that. Giving up points on a possession you want.
So close to getting the block there. You can live with those calls because you'd rather have a guy playing aggressive instead of playing it safe.
Brooks outside. Over O'Neal. Here's Williams. And no luck with that time on the buzzer beater. Well, it's been a high-scoring competitive game through the first quarter of play. Rockets lead by 3. We'll be back shortly live from Houston, Texas.
Yeah, we know. We was on the phone with us till 2. Oh, of course you did, bro. I low-key, bro, I low-key feel like a chud. Now I'm
We welcome you back to Noche Latina. Becoming an annual tradition is always here on 2K Sports, and always exciting. Let's quickly break down the game we've seen so far for the Rockets, guys.
Protecting that rim early on, that's been a big factor for them tonight.
Well, you can erase a lot of defensive mistakes when you have shot blockers lurking in the background.
Bill Commissioner Adam Silver believes the 2K Esports League will have the staying power of the NBA, the WNBA, the G League. Pretty powerful comment to make.
And I hope he's right, because I want to be the lead color guy. I want us to be the team. Why can't it be us, Kevin Harlan?
Are you kidding me?
Let's do that. Cut me the check. As Rasheed Wallace would say, CTC, cut the check.
Bill Simmons is here.
I'm ready.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, as the second quarter gets going. So on the floor for Houston, we've got Shelvin Mack. Brooks is out there with P.J. Tucker. Then it's Williams. And it's Gilgeous Alexander in at the point. Catching up on the changes for Houston. John Collins comes in for Williams. And Doncic is subbed in for Gilgeous Alexander. Utah also making some changes. Derek Favors checked in for Rudy Gobert. And it's Mitchell in for Dante Exum. Houston making some changes. Jackson comes in for P.J. Tucker. And Smith subbed in for Brooks. Joe Ingles, who's checked in for the Jazz. Spencer Dinwiddie comes in for Sean Livingston. Bill, it's interesting. More than 50 colleges and universities now offers scholarships in esports. I did not know this, and that number is probably only going to go up.
Yeah, it makes sense too. What's more popular, esports or water polo? No offense to the water polo players, but come on.
These kids love it. They cannot get enough of these games.
No, we should have, every college should have esports.
And no doubt both teams competing at a high level, but the consistency has been lacking here. Another lead change.
I like to fight in these clubs. Neither side willing to give an inch. We'll see how it turns out.
6 changes of the lead here.
Both teams still kind of feeling their way through this game.
Now, here's Doncic. Ingles covering. And another 3 for Houston.
And he can play the long-range game, the mid-range game. He takes it to the rack. Doncic is a versatile 3-level scorer.
Bill, you've watched the NBA evolve. Talk about some of the biggest changes over the last decade you've seen.
the three-point line and the threes are foul shots philosophy, I think, is the biggest thing. Just the pace of the game has really improved and to a really pleasing way for fans. Like just what Steve Nash was doing last decade and those Suns teams, that everybody's playing that way now. I think the social media and the players basically getting rid of the wall between them and the fans, using social media, using Instagram, and we just feel like we know these guys better. And their ability to control their own message now versus where they were 10 years ago. It all started with the decision in LeBron James and has carried through this whole decade. And these guys now, they can get whatever message out they want. They can criticize the president. They can criticize their own team. They can ask for a trade. If they get called out by some writer or somebody who has a hit piece, they can go back at the guy and sick all their fans on the writer.
So it's the Rockets now after the basket by Utah. Harden outside. Collins. He doesn't hit that one. So Utah will take it the other way. Going back to our topic from a moment ago, Bill, you mentioned the interaction between players and social media and how that's become a new facet, a skill we're seeing daily from players.
There's just way more accountability now. And I'm really impressed by how polished the guys are that come in the league now. And I think the LeBron generation, LeBron, Wade, Chris Bosh, some of those guys from the last generation that came up and became vets and really knew how, Paul Pierce, knew how to handle their business. Now these new guys come in, they're 19, 20 years old, and they act like they're 30. I'm sure you see it at the games.
Shocking.
Whereas in the 90s, it was a free-for-all. You had these guys who, if you gave them a live mic, you were terrified. And now these guys are 19 years old giving, like, long interviews to reporters. It's like, how are you doing this?
Tatum in particular is very
Tatum's
impressive.
already good at being a bad interview.
He's
like, he
19
doesn't say anything. He knows how to dodge any question. It's like, you're 19. How do you know how to do this?
Unbelievable. Catching up on the changes for Houston. Williams, he's checked in for Jackson. P.J. Tucker comes in for John Collins. Dylan Brooks, he's checked in for Doncic. And Gilgeous-Alexander is subbed in for Dennis Smith. Bill, what a pleasure to have you with us. Great as always to hear your thoughts, your commentary. I hope you join us again soon.
I'd love it. Anytime, Kevin. Tell me.
Thank you. And Smitty, so great to have Bill with us, a guy who's ahead of the curve creatively.
Kevin, he was a pioneer in blogging, Emmy nominated for his work on documentaries. The guy never stops thinking of new ways to produce content.
Here is Livingston following the score by Houston. Williams with the block.
The amazing thing about Williams, he can block shots inside, but he can also block shots out on the perimeter. His ability to play in space means he's more than just a rim protector. Doesn't care where you're shooting from.
Now here's Crowder. 8 points for him. Here's Exum, and he drops it in from the low post. And the Jazz lead by 1.
For his size, Dante Exum has a lightning-quick first step. That really sets him apart.
Brooks against O'Neal. Harden outside. And Harden with the stop.
And Harden is a nightmare in the pick and roll. Just a clever combo guard who is completely unpredictable.
Here's Exum. Softly drops in the floater. Exum's got 6 points.
I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
Harden outside. The feed to Williams. And it's Williams throwing it down.
Slashing with purpose there. After setting that screen, Williams knows where to position himself in these sets.
Now, here's Exum from deep three-point range, and that one released in time, but no good. And some good action through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Houston on top, leading by a point. We're going to step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after our halftime.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
We welcome you back. Ernie Johnson with Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Quite the tussle there in the first half, huh? Houston found themselves in a close game in the first. They saw their lead grow to a high water mark of 5 in the period. They were outscored by just a bit in the second quarter as they go into the break now holding just a 1-point advantage. Kenny, what'd you think about the Rockets?
Well, they were consistent from downtown. The playmakers found open shooters, and the shooters delivered and knocked down shots on a...
And that'll about do it as we get ready for the second half. Let's take it out to Kevin Harlan.
Shout out to my man Joel. Joel, what up?
It was not NBA. It wasn't NBA Live. It was NBA 2K21 next gen. Yes, bro. No, PJ Tucker hit a game winner on NBA Live.
Day turning tonight here in the Southwest. We're in Houston. Welcome back, everyone. And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly even so far. You look at Jay Crowder. He's really been playing well.
I'll tell you, the scoring he gave them in the first half really made the difference.
Credit his teammates recognizing the hot hand.
So on the floor for Utah, Mitchell and Ingles are out on the wing. Favors and Gobert, the tough pair inside. And it's Dinwiddie in at the point. Well, Steve, talk about leadership. Some guys are extremely vocal. Name some guys that prefer to lead by example, that aren't all talk, but watch what I do.
Yeah, I think it comes out. I would say the first in my never vocal is Kawhi Leonard. Obviously, his play, he leads by example. I think Anthony Davis is another guy that stands out for me. I even look at Kevin Durant. I don't see him as a vocal leader, but I think his game and the way he leads his teams by example is one of those guys that can be leaders, but they can be leaders without being extremely vocal.
Now here's Gobert. Second shot opportunity, and it's Favors laying it in. Favors got his second basket of the game.
They're doing work here in the second half, 3 or 4 to start.
It's Harden with the drive, and that one good. Harden's got the game tied up here for the Rockets.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
Utah calls timeout, and for good reason. We talk about the effect of Gobert's wingspan, somewhere around 7 feet 9 inches.
Kevin, that's a tremendous advantage that few others have. I guess Mo Bamba's up there around 7 feet 10 inches. And of course, my old teammate Manu Bol still holds the record at 8 feet 6 inches.
And where have the shots been coming from tonight? Here's a look broken down by paint, mid-range, and three-point shot attempts so far for Utah.
And the three-point shot above the break has become a popular shot in the league, but not for them tonight. They're passing that one up and just trying to get their offense from closer to the hoop.
Now, here's Ingles. James Harden with the rebound. Third quarter of play with just over a minute and a half gone by. Jackson kicks to Doncic. The pass to Smith. Lays it up and banks it in. Smith's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders.
Here's Dinwiddie. The wide open look here for Ingles. Another miss by Utah.
And that's the shot he wants. Just a little bit out of rhythm.
And he'll shoot free throws here. Clearly fouled on that shot that time. The whistle blowing.
And possesses such a refined feel for the game that Doncic knows he has what it takes to be a great player in this league.
Max checked in for the Rockets. Well, Steve, you look at the core of this Jazz team, Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert, still very, very young.
Mitchell, obviously the youngest, but the Jazz have a good amount of players just entering their prime. The front office has done a great job of identifying talent in the draft and developing it.
And it's in there. 6 points for Derek Favors.
That's where majority of Favors points come from. So effective from the interior area of the floor.
Here's Harden. Gobert with the block. Well, we're into the third quarter, just over 2.5 minutes played, and he gets it back. Now, here's Doncic, defense right on him.
And doesn't he just have a nose, a knack for the basketball? He is by far their best rebounder.
Oh, no question. He just punishes the opposition in that category, and there's no end in sight.
Now it appears an injury out on the floor, and that does not look like any fun.
Well, I mean, you really feel for him. I mean, and the entire team. Just You got to hope for the best.
I just hate seeing this, but no need to jump the gun. Let's see what it turns out to be.
So for the Rockets, Williams, he's checked in for John Collins.
No. Did he just tear his ACL, bro? Seth, do you remember that one video that I showed you when Harden got hurt from inbounding the ball, bro? Oh, he kept getting injured, bro.
And Gilgeous-Alexander is subbed in for James Harden.
Bro, it's always 2K19, bro. 2K19.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander, and you can see his scoring totals. Those are some pretty good numbers. He's putting up close to 15 points a game on average.
You know, still a raw talent, but Williams does have a reliable inside game that continues to get better.
P.J. Tucker, he's checked in for Houston. Brooks comes in for Doncic. Royce O'Neal's checked in for the Jazz. Livingston comes in for Spencer Dinwiddie. Livingston kicks to O'Neal. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
No question, he got bumped on that shot.
And he's got his first free throw of the game. That's good from O'Neal. A different look for Utah. Jay Crowder's checked in for Favors. And it's Dante Exum in for Mitchell. For Houston, they've gotten 5 of 8 shots to fall for them in the third quarter. A nice 62% from the field. And there's the foul on Jay Crowder. That's his first foul. And the Rockets making a change here. Doncic is checked in. Utah's on defense. In the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up.
Here's Livingston. Lays it up off the glass.
Sean Livingston pretty quick on transition. The veteran player with this speed knows how to finish.
Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Drops in the layup for 2. Gilgeous-Alexander's got it all tied up now for the Rockets.
They didn't have much of a problem getting the ball into the post that time.
Here's Exum. It's rebounded by Houston. Williams has got his 6th rebound on the night. No one near Doncic as he lets it fly. Shot goes down. Very quick possession right there.
And they're scoring much more efficiently here in the second half, and they've gotten that field goal percentage above 50.
From outside the arc, doesn't go for it. And it's Houston the other way. Some nice passing there by Houston. To the inside. Oh, and the jam by Williams.
You know, something that Williams does so well, as soon as he has inside position, he just goes for the finish.
Now, here's Exum. He has 6. Pass to Crowder. He kicks it to Livingston. To the paint. Doncic with the steal. Here's Gilgeous-Alexander. And yes, it's good. And it's a 6-point Houston lead.
It was clear that the defender wanted no part of that play after he exploded towards the bucket.
And so it's Houston with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. Their lead is where it is because they've gotten good shots. A lot of good shots. We come back right after this.
Tyree gonna come back, bro. OBJ.
Let's hear what Mike D'Antoni was going over with his team moments ago.
Rebound to loose balls. We gotta get them. We gotta get them. Let's go. Let's go. Gotta run a little bit more.
Greg, you can tell by his voice he wants his guys to give everything they've got right now.
No doubt, especially on the backboard. For them to secure this win, that needs to happen.
And with these teams locked in a very close contest, this fourth quarter promises to be a good one. Smith is out there with Gilgeous-Alexander. Then it's Brooks. Then there's Doncic. And it's Williams at the center. That's the 5 for Houston right now. Now here is Smith. Takes a three. Utah with the rebound. Gobert's got rebound number 12 here already in the game. And he comes up with the deuce.
And in a game this tight, a few plays either way can start to turn the tide.
Both teams, they're trying to spark a run, but with the talent in these lineups, it's hard for either side to break away.
Now here's Crowder, following the missed shot by Dennis Smith. Crowder kicks to Exum, and the rejection by Smith. Here's Doncic. Makes it off the glass. And the Rockets lead by 4.
And we're seeing some great ball movement out of this group, guys.
And the Jazz call time here.
And you can see his wheels are turning. We'll see what he draws up here.
It's been an ongoing battle of adjustments, trying to identify your strongest matchup each time down the floor.
Houston making some changes. Jackson comes in for Williams. And it's James Harden in for Gilgeous-Alexander. So Utah going with an almost entirely new group here. Derek Favors checked in for Jay Crowder. Joe Ingles comes in for O'Neal. Mitchell, he's checked in for Sean Livingston. And Spencer Dinwiddie subbed in for Exum. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, during the last break, I listened to Utah's coach address his team. He got into him pretty hard. He said, we are being way too soft in there. We need some toughness, and I need some defense. No more easy baskets. Pretty strong words, guys.
A chance here to get a quick injury report. Now for an update on John Collins' injury, let's go to David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, I caught up with the head athletic trainer for the Rockets. Unfortunately, it does not look good at all. And, of course, that would be a brutal loss for this team if he misses any time, as they're getting ready for the end of the season. Kevin?
David, thanks for the great update, guys. It doesn't sound good.
No, if that report is accurate, he's going to be spending a lot of time in rehab and on the sidelines.
I know he'll fight back hard to get back on the floor. He wants to be out here with his teammates.
An area he must sharpen over time. Smith Jr. has the defensive skills. Just needs to work on his will.
Doncic, and the bucket is good. 3-point play chance here for him.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
That free throw good from Doncic. And it's Dinwiddie with the ball, bringing it up now for Utah. They trail by 6. Here's Favors, and he drops in the layup off the glass. Favors got 10 points in just the second half.
And it only takes a couple buckets for Favors to get rolling. They got to keep feeding him the rock.
Three-pointer, Brooks. It's good, the assist that time from Smith. Smith's got 3 assists now in this one. Gobert dishes to Mitchell. Rebounded by Jackson. Houston leading by 7. Harden the pass to Doncic. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. It's going to be on Donovan Mitchell.
A fearless competitor. When Doncic is driving inside, he just embraces the contact on the way up. And just a better job of getting to the line here in the second half. Didn't get there once in the first.
And they get it back. Mitchell's shot is good. Now a timeout called by Houston. And now we've got a moment for our Jordan player of the game, James Harden.
And he's played this entire game on his front foot, Kevin. I mean, driving the lane, going to the rim with purpose, and getting those points the hard way.
What a connection he has to these fans. They love him here. And the more he has games like this, the deeper that connection gets. And here is Mitchell. After Dennis Smith was able to get the 3. Misses the step-back jump shot.
And that's the look this offense is designed to produce.
Always frustrating when you do everything right, yet just can't complete the play.
And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Mitchell.
And how about the reaction time on D there? Almost comes up with the pick.
You know, these are the little plays that can add up when you look over the course of a game.
Now, here is Harden. 6 to shoot. It's stolen by Gobert. Here's Dinwiddie, covered by Smith. 1:37 left in the fourth quarter. Here's Mitchell, and that one off the back of the rim and in.
Donovan Mitchell, he covers every base, even showing the touch from mid-range.
There's Jackson with the three. Gobert pulls it in. Gobert's got 13 rebounds in the game. Seeding. Kicks it out to Mitchell. To the paint. Here's Dinwiddie. Rockets with the rebound. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact.
At the line for your Rockets, Jaren Jackson. At the line for 2.
Good on the first, and that will put them up by 9.
Bloodiest ring ever. Bloodiest ring ever.
And he cannot convert on the second. That misses. Here's Mitchell. Sinks that one from the post.
Great job getting it to go after he takes the hit. Mitchell plays with a force every night.
And Jackson throws it down hard.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish. Utah calls timeout. They trail by 9. 51 seconds left in the fourth. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for the Rockets. Passes to Dinwiddie. Another miss by Utah. They're in good position here to ride it out.
Well, certainly, if they just play smart, this game's over.
Here's Smith. There's the dish to Baines. Back to Smith. And the rejection by Favors.
The long reach of Favors have a real impact, especially when he leaves the ground quickly in time for blocks.
And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. It's going to be on Rudy Gobert.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
It's the first, and that'll push the lead to double digits.
And it's the combination of athleticism, speed, and intelligence Smith Jr. has that's so impressive. Just a dynamic point guard with loads of potential.
And the Jazz call time here. They're behind by 11. 16 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, what's your take?
And this is what happens when you dig yourself a hole. It's hard to climb out of.
You know, this part of the game, focus on good execution. The rest will take care of itself. And this is the value of letting the play develop. You find the weakness in the defense.
Harden, no good. So we see the Rockets get the win here. A confident win, and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid performance, particularly here at home. I think they built off that edge of being here and playing with just a little more confidence than their opponent.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Here with James Harden. James, what is it like when you're playing a team that's struggling and you have to keep focused to keep them down?
You know what? If we look at the bigger picture, and we have one goal at the end of the season, that's to be champions. So we can't play down to the level of our competition. You know, we got to go out there every single night.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Steve Smith, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
You don't have 3 Super Bowls, so stop talking, bro. You don't. Yeah, you control the Heat, bro. Talking about you're Tyler Hero, you're getting traded. You got traded, bro. I was at work, bro. I was in the break room and I hear you yelling, bro. Bro, I still remember when Bam scored 83 and he posted on his IG story. That's why Bam on the bottom my goat. Yeah, you heard me? Bam my goat. Yeah, Bam on the bottom. Bro, I was crying, man.